Hello again, and thank you for joining Jeff and Jenny's Classic Restorations. This is the first in the series of the Suzuki FZ50. We all hope you had a lovely Christmas. I was going to have a technical day. I got a new phone and I was going to just do that, and I had a key fob to sort out. So no spanners or sockets, so a nice easy day. My son came over at 10 o'clock with his car, pouring down with rain. Went to go back, completely flat tyre, it wouldn't pump up with the compressor. So there's muggins out there at 10 o'clock at night in the rain changing his tyre. And what does he say? Oh, it's raining, I better stay inside. So that was the end of my Christmas day, but I hope your one was a lot better than mine. Jenny's a bit tired here, she's got dirty feet, she's just been out for a 2-hour walk, so I'm absolutely knackered. So we're going to start doing the Suzuki FZ50 by stripping down the rear to start with, and eventually getting down to taking the engine out. I think this is going to take a little bit longer than perhaps I'm overlet in episodes, as there's so much to do. Every panel needs, well, every bracket needs powder coating and sanding back. So we do hope you enjoy the series, and so sit back and enjoy. Well, hello and welcome back to the start of the restoration of the Suzuki. Wires everywhere. I've taken some pictures to try and get these back. I do have a manual now, so I'll be eventually taking the engine out, but what I'm going to do is strip off some of these parts first. And also one other thing I'm going to have to do, these replacement foot peg or foot rests will go back in there, and I can use some axle stands just to support the weight of the front of the bike once the engine comes out. But that's later on, and we'll start stripping this down. Well, I think the first thing we do is get this miserable looking seat off, which is falling apart. I have, as you know, I showed you earlier, I've got a new seat base which is 100 times better than that, and also ordered a seat cover, so later on that can go on. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'll just take this off, which here looks absolutely awful. I think this is going to take quite a bit of time, so please bear with me with the episodes. I think it's going to take longer than the Mobilette, so it's just so much different to what I've been used to. Sort of slightly more 80s complicated, but I managed to get hold of a manual, so that's definitely going to help. As I go around, we're taking lots of photos. There we go. One miserable seat. It's just, as you can see, I said it before, it's just cracking up. It's just absolutely nothing for the seat cover to grip onto. So I'm glad I've got a replacement of that. And the seat cover, well, that's seen better days as well, so we've got a new one of those coming. Okay, we'll go for the rack now, which does have the lights attached to it. So okay, so I'll remove the rest of the screws there and come back to you. That's the rack off. I'm leaving the wires on for now to just pull through. I can't quite get them through here because of this bracket in the way, so I'm going to remove the tower light bracket, hopefully. There we go. time since these bolts have seen WD-40. Okay, I'll just get this one out. Okay, with those bolts out, now I've pulled the wires through for the indicators. So that's the rack done. This will all be cleaned up separately later. And this is the cable still attached for this, so we'll disconnect it from this end. Whether that will come through or not, I don't know. Let's have a look. Might have to remove the tank first, so I'll make a start on that one. Okay, so that's all the cables connected, or the pipes connected. I'm under here. Hopefully, I can get this out. And a nice loose set of screw bolts in here, I think. I think we're going to have to remove this this lock here. So I'll come back to you. Okay, well that's the lock out. It didn't take too long for me to cut my fingers, did it? But never mind. So this should come out now. And now we can pull this cable through. So that's the back light off. The horrible petrol tank off. There we go. Put gloves on, that'll teach me not to wear them, won't it? So now we might as well just remove this mud guard. That'll be out of the way. Go. Alright, slowly getting there. I think I'll just stick that one back in there for now, because we know what it's for. Well, this is about all I can do for today. I've got the coil out and a few more brackets. Had to use the GIS bolts because a lot of them, or the nuts, are GIS screw top, so that got them out, and some of them were stuck in. I've had to use the, wherever it was gone, I had to use the impact driver to get those out. That took a little bit of time, but they're done. The oil tank is now out. This is almost ready to come out, and then I'll take the carburetor off, brake cable, etc., and then we should be able to get the engine out shortly. But running out of time for today now, getting late and dark, starting to get dark, so I will come back to you when I get a chance. Well, finally back with you again. The last few days have been absolutely awful, raining, so what I've done, is now dark, so I've moved the two of the scooters outside, because it's not raining, and I'm going to persevere now and carry on and get this engine off. I have taken the carburetor off. That was just held on by two screws to the manifold. I've taken off the slider for the carburetor, so that's ready to go, and also I've uncoupled the oil pump cable, so that's okay. I've also marked a few of these cables up with I've got a memory like a sieve, so by the time I get back to doing this, I'm going to forget half of them. So I've done that. All we need to do now, I've removed the brake cable as well. That was just a cam at the end there, and that just pulled through. Also, one other thing, this has to go through the brake cable. There's just a little lever here, I think you can see it, just a little lever down there. Try and get out the light. And when you pull the rear brake, that releases a locking mechanism in there to allow you to use the kickstart. So that's all part of the rear brake. So all that needs to be done now, I've just got to disconnect the wires from the stator, the other side there, and there's a few relays which need to come off, and then, well, I just unplugged them for now actually, and then I should be able to unbolt the shock absorber and undo the main bolts that hold it on here, and we should be able to get the engine out. I'll get this rusty old bolt out, all being well. There we go, and this will release the shock absorber, and then in a minute I'll turn it around and we'll disconnect everything the other side, and then we'll try and get the engine out. I think we're there with this. There we go, there's a bolt for that. Let's stick that back in there for now. Right, that's this side done. Now I'm going to turn it round and I'll come back to you once I've done that. Right, so the bike's now turned round. I've now disconnected the stator and the wires from these, well, there's the rectifier and the relays. So everything is now disconnected, I hope. So also I've just put on the, just temporary, these footrests, and the plan is in a minute is to, when the engine comes away, hopefully, I can then prop it up, the whole front of the bike, onto these axle stands. So we need to just loosen this one bolt, and then I think that will do it. I'll get this bolt out. There we go. I was hoping for a nice restful evening in the shed tonight, and I'll spare 6 o'clock this evening spare. I just rung in and they need me, so I haven't got long. So we'll just get this bit done, and then hopefully we can wrap this film up for the day, or for the week. So I think just need a hammer. We'll try and tap that through. The engine should still be supported because it's the stand is still attached to the engine, so if we can get that one out somehow. Might have to just tap that through. Let's see. Suppose that's going to be too big. Let's have another go. Right, so in theory that should actually be free, so let's see what happens. Just lift this up, there we go. Literally lift the engine off of the bike rather than take the engine out of the bike. So let's leave that there for a moment, and there we go, one engine to work on later. I'd like to have taken the wheel off today and broken it down, but as I say, I've got to go to work now, so pretty much stuck for today. So we'll leave that for now, and I'll come back. Well, that's it for another week. I'm afraid there's no Jenny, she's in a deep sleep inside at the moment. So we've got what I wanted to do. We've got the engine out. We can do a bit of cleaning later on and just check things over. I'll get the back wheel off next time as well, and that's it. We'll come back and carry on with it. So this will go out on New Year's Day, and so I'd just like to wish all my subscribers and other people watching a very happy new year. Thank you for your support throughout the year as well. So please take care out there. Very good new year to you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.